Previously on edsretrogeekout.
Well, it's easy to find bargains in a bargain bin.
Wow. Truly next level stuff here, guys. Finding video games at a video game store. Tune in next week when he looks for syringes in a McDonald's play place.
Come on, man! You're wasting my time here! I want to see more! More games! Find more games, damn it!
It's true. I'm always taking shortcuts.
Real pickers hunt in the wild, you little punk.
What have I done?
Seriously, Ed, I thought we were friends.
I gotta find a way to set this right. So there I was, down and out, with no moves left. When suddenly, from afar, I hear the phone ringing. Well, what? What the hell?
The name is Fleaman, Dennis Fleaman. I've been hunting on flea markets for years now, and I think that I can help you get your street cred back.
Tell me what to do.
It's not that hard, Ed. Just get out there, find some stuff, visit flea markets, visit garage sales, and get some nice pickups under your belt.
You're so right, Dennis. The flea market's where it's at. Let's go find some games! Enough convention videos, enough about going over to other collectors. Today I'm heading over to a flea market. There's going to be 300 stands. I hope there's going to be some games, maybe some toys I can find. I'm going to head there bright and early, and damn it, they've already set up. You're supposed to get over at the flea market when they're still setting up. As I'm walking around the corner, I see the stands are already up, so yeah, the odds of me finding anything good right now are probably already over, but hey, I'm already there an hour early before it's supposed to start, so what more can you do? First row is of course always junk, but I do see a couple of PS2 games, some PS2 consoles, and over here there's some Wii games. Now, there's nothing here I need. Damn, is this flea market gonna be a bust? I hope not. Thank you. Well, seems like we run into something cool right here. A classic Game Boy, the Game Boy Brick, the DMG01 model. That stands for a dot matrix game, actually.
They said it wasn't humanly possible. All the power and excitement of Nintendo right in the palm of your hand. Introducing Game Boy. It's portable, it's in stereo, and its games are interchangeable. Game Boy comes complete with batteries and the outrageous new game Tetris. And for head-to-head competition, use Video Link and blow your opponent away.
Yeah, that's a great find, Ed, that Game Boy, the old brick from Nintendo. Yeah, this is the part of the video where I'm supposed to give you guys some random facts and information about the Nintendo Game Boy. But I'm too busy playing it right now.
So the Game Boy was actually released on the 100-year anniversary of Nintendo in 1989 in Japan. And the Game Boy was the first system that went to space. It even orbited the planet for 3,000 times before it got back to Earth. And the odd thing about this Game Boy is you see so many articles online or even in the newspaper, hey, if you have this old toy, you might be rich. The Game Boy and the Game Boy Color, so it also includes the Play It Loud series, they sold 118 million consoles. How is this supposed to be rare? It's not worth $1,000. Why are people pretending that this stuff is worth so much? Whenever I see a classic Game Boy, I try to pick it up, so 10 euros for this one. It looks good, it's in nice condition, it does work, so I might as well just take it along. So I come across a vendor who has a ton of toys. Now, there's a bit of Turtles, there's a bit of Power Rangers, but there's a box of G.I. Joe toys over here. So Marcel is probably gonna have a blast looking at this stuff, but yeah, most of these G.I. Joes are not complete. I mean, the figure isn't even complete. Of course, I'm gonna go for the Cobra ones. I really like the Cobra ones. It's just a shame that Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes are just, they just don't have their nuts.
Nuts.
I picked up a scuba diver Cobra guy, and I forgot the name for this one. I'm really terrible at collecting for G.I. Joe, but yeah, glad to pick these up for €2 each. Also picked up this Morbius that has some bloody action. Next we go inside. Yeah, there's actually an indoor part to this flea market. It's not packed, but let's see if we can get something out of these stands over here. Oh yeah, there's a lady selling a ton of cool stuff. She has G.I. Joe, she has TMNT, there's even Skeleton Warriors.
Know this, young prince. The skeleton warriors are led by foul Baron Dark and will stop at nothing. Once they were men, but served the force so evil it devoured everything, leaving only their bones.
The Skeleton Warriors are bad to the bone, and Playmates did a magnificent job on sculpting these. The sculpts on these figures are amazing. Now, these are two vehicles I picked up. I picked up the Legion Warhorse, which is this one, and it is complete. However, the Skull Cycle, that's not complete. There's some parts missing, but it's still in great condition. Now, Skeleton Warriors came out in 1994. It was, of course, a cartoon and a toy line. I had some as a kid, and every time I see some of these, I just need to bring it along. I need to have it. I want the complete set. Playmates has some amazing toy lines, guys. There's a tub of TMNT toys. I'm gonna go nuts.
Oh boy! Turtle toys! We lost Ed completely now, guys. He's not gonna look at anything else. Might as well get a beer now.
Now, of course, I also picked up some TMNT characters. We've already talked about TMNT enough over here. Now, the cool thing is they're in okay condition. The vehicle I picked up from there is also great. And I also picked up this Transformer Insecticon. And a fun thing I actually didn't know was that you can actually recognize real Transformers by the blackened Transformer logos. So you just pop your finger on there, and then you can see for which one of the two teams they're actually fighting for. Not too much else apart from this lady having great deals on these toys inside. I do go back to her right after I finish walking around inside, and I still pick up one more toy. I couldn't leave this guy behind. This is a Toy Biz Spider-Man from 1992. He's got a lot of articulation points on there, so his hands have, like his arms have 3 articulations. Yeah, very glad at this one. And yeah, I'm really happy with this Toy Biz figure again. Now, I usually look around for Transformers when I'm looking at all of these car stands, at all of these vendors selling mostly cars. But over here I actually come across a Lost World car. So yeah, it's a Hot Wheels car. It has a giant T-Rex on it, and if you press it down, the figurine inside pops up. It does seem to be missing one part, but hey, for €1 I'm not gonna complain. Oh yes, finally some games. There's a stack of 3 NES games over here, and one of them is a PAL exclusive. Smurfs.
The Smurfs, die Sloemfen, the Smurfen. Great find, Ed. I got the game myself. It's made by Infogrames and it's a so-called PAL exclusive. Games that were made for the NES but only released in Europe. We got a couple of those. Most well-known examples are Mr. Gimmick and Rodland. They're also pretty expensive. If you are a gamer that's new into NES collecting and you don't want to pay that kind of cash, but you do want to play a PAL exclusive games, may I suggest 2 games. Euphoria, Metroid kind of game, really underrated, great game, play that, PAL exclusive. Or, if you really have a great taste, Over Horizon, PAL exclusive NES shooter.
You're totally right, it's not one of the best games, Dennis, but still it's cool to have this PAL exclusive. Now, this Smurfs game came out in 1994. It was released by Infogrames, like you said, and developed by Bit Managers. It's actually, it's not the worst platformer. There's way worse platformers on the system, but the slow pacing kind of makes it not as enjoyable. However, if you press down the B button while running, you actually run way faster, so hopefully that helps. There's also some cool boss fights. There's one with a dragon, and it's a pretty cool mechanic. You actually have to get some boxes and then throw them over to the dragon, so it's not the easiest gameplay. I mean, there was some thought put into this. Of course, over at these flea markets, you're gonna have a ton of competition. And yeah, I run across a friend of mine. He said, "Oh, I found so much stuff over here." And I'm like, okay, so he probably took all of the good stuff.
The early bird gets the worm, or games in this case. Well, you win some, you lose some.
It's like you said, when you get there first, you find all the good stuff. You have first pick. However, there's 2 entrances to this flea market. I came in on the other end, so by the time I got to where he was at first, he got the best of this Super Nintendo lot. Damn, he found so much stuff. That's why I'm not finding anything over here. And he found some good stuff in there. I mean, there was a gold edition of the Super Nintendo with Zelda, Street Fighter, some Super Mario, Donkey Kong games, and even a boxed Super Scope. Now, the Super Scope was the next gun that Nintendo put out after the Zapper. It was a large bazooka. And of course the game Battle Clash he found there. That's a pretty nice deal. Now, however, I already have all of this, so I'm not too jealous of him finding this cool stuff. It would just go to me reselling it to get more money to buy other games. So, I mean, it's not the biggest loss. However, he does tell me, hey, I left some games over there because they were too pricey. So I head over to the seller, and she has a couple of SNES sports games for €15 a piece. However, they are in box. So, over here I'm seeing Exhaust Heat. It's a game released by Ocean Software in 1992, and it's of course a racing game, a Formula 1 racing game. The controls are fine, but it's just a racing game. And then I also picked up NHL PA, hockey, a hockey game. I don't have too much to say about this one. I never played hockey back in the day. It looks like a hockey game, and that's probably what it is. So that's where I'm going to end that part of the review. So as you can tell, I purchased these two items. Of course I did. I wanted to get these, but I had to haggle her down.
Boxed Super Nintendo games for 15 euros? You better get that price down, Ed. I mean, come on, they're all sport games, you know. There are no classics or rare gems in that lot like this. Ugh.
So I told her, you know, it's 11. You want to know why these games are still out over here? Because I asked, do you have any more? Now, the tactic I used to get these games cheaper is, so did you have any other ones before this? And she said, yeah, well, but yeah, I had a couple, but they already came and bought those. And then I told her, do you want to know why these are still left over here? So I tell her, well, they're basically sports games, they're less desirable, that's why nobody's going to pick them up for 15 euros. And then she comes back to me, what would you want to give for them? So I tell her, you know, 5 euros a piece is what I can give you for these, honestly. So if you're okay with that, I'll take them from you. She comes back with, give me 6 euros a piece and they're yours. 6 euros a piece, that's fine. The boxes are in great condition. These are two games I do not yet own, so they're going straight into the collection, and I'm pretty glad with this. Because, you know, the other guy, he found cool stuff, but I already have those. These two games I did not yet have, so it definitely worked out for me that he didn't buy them or didn't start haggling over these.
Now that's some good haggling. I'm proud of you, Ed. Way to go, man. Good job. I think you did more than fine this weekend, Ed. You did a great job. Try to keep that up every weekend and every video. For now, yeah, what can I say? I hope to do some flea market hunting with you sometimes. But when you come over, you better bring your A game, because I found some N64 prototypes in the past on flea markets. So, I'm just messing with you. Really enjoyed the video, man.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for showing me the light. If you guys don't know Dennis Fleaman, go check him out on YouTube. I think this will definitely help me get my street credit back. I need to go out every weekend to flea markets, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I mean, the sun is out now, it's not cold anymore. There's large outdoor flea markets where there's actually vendors, not only resellers. So I'm gonna head over there every weekend, and I'll bring you guys and I'll show you guys what I find. So now that I have you here for a couple more seconds, guys, maybe subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Dennis's channel, or check out one of these other videos. Thanks, and I will see you next week on Monday. Bye! Previously on Edsretrogeekout. Previously on edsretrogeekout.